Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I am your melanated Indian chiefess, and today we will be discussing a few different topics. Right now, it is about 73 degrees, so auf Deutsch, I would say es ist 73 degrees, okay? Hope all is well, all is gut. Wie geht es Ihnen, everybody that's out there? Hallo and guten Tag to all die Leute. So hello and good day to all of the people out there. I want to get into talking about the HR 6666 phone tracing. And I also wanted to discuss Bill Gates is back at it again, you all. Yes, he is continuing his criminal activity, you all. And this time, as it is no secret to us, he's back out in Africa trying to bribe the governmental officials, okay? So we're going to get into that. And shout out to Young Pharaoh. He actually did a live stream yesterday speaking about this topic. So if you've missed it, check it out. Very informative information. He does a great job at doing his research. Excellent journalistic skills when it comes to that. I know a lot of times because we have to be at work or we have to provide a way to make a living and to make money, we're not able to stay abreast on many different topics. So that is the reason that you have us out here working on your behalf, giving you the information. Okay, and so I'm just going to decipher what I feel is extremely important at this particular juncture. So I'm going to read to you this article from amp.presscitizen.com. That's amp.press-citizen.com. It says the fact check. Now, if you're not familiar, this came out a few weeks ago that they wanted to actually use your cell phones as a way to trace if you were exposed to COVID. Now, how would they do that? Some type of way. I don't know if this was through an app. They would be able to specify your exact location, and then they would be able to target if that is a high, elevated area where COVID tracing is more likely, or COVID is most likely to be located. And then they would actually be able to use your cell phone to trace people that you were around, whether it's in a department store, whether it's at your house, wherever you may go. They could actually use your cell phone to figure out who you were around, and that would give them a better chance of tracking those people down, because you could have actually contaminated the air in which they breathed, and then they would conduct the HR 6666 testing at their residence as well. So I'm going to read to you this article. It says the Trace Act stirred controversy on social media and brought forth privacy concerns as social media users claimed that phones would be updated with traceability apps without anyone knowing. Because when I first read this, I was wondering, how in the world are they going to do that? How would they know based on your phone if you had a high demand for being exposed to COVID? Like, that didn't make sense to me. Or if you were highly susceptible, shall I say, for COVID. And so without anyone knowing, they would have the apps on the phone to track the spread of COVID-19. It says a Facebook post with an image that states, "Know what HR 6666 means for our country," includes a section that states cell phones are being updated with COVID-19 traceability apps without us even knowing it. See in the comments to shut off this setting. It adds this app will track where you've been, who you've been in contact with, and random strangers your phone has been 6 feet away from. So you might not even be aware that someone has this app downloaded, or it has been implemented on their phone. And then if you're around that person, you could be a target of HR 6666 trace testing just because you were around someone that had this on their phone, and they might not even had knowledge of it. Users in the comments of the post claim that the traceability app could be turned off on cell phones in the settings by selecting the health button and turning off COVID-19 exposure notification. This is crazy, everybody, that they would even suggest anything like this. And it sounds to me that this should be criminal, if you ask me. The post is one of several claims that followed the announcement of House Resolution 6666, the TRACE Act, testing, reaching, and contacting everyone. What is sponsored by Republican Bobby Rush D. III on May 1st. So if you're not familiar, Bobby Rush D. III actually was the one that imposed or submitted that bill on May 1st. And from my understanding, it has passed the House and now it has to go through the Senate. So just be real mindful, you all. You may hear someone's cutting grass out here. What is the purpose of HR 6666? The TRACE Act includes a $100 billion grant that will be used to allocate money to nonprofit organizations, health centers, medical facilities, and more to implement testing units and hire staff in hotspots, areas to track and reduce COVID-19 cases. If you recall, a few videos ago, I did walk down the line in reading that TRACE Act and exactly step by step what it meant for us all. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has already issued guidance stating contact tracing is a key strategy for preventing COVID. Communities must scale up and train a large contact tracer workforce and work collaboratively across public and private agencies to stop the transmission of COVID-19, the website reads. The bill also would use funds to purchase personal protective equipment and hire, train, and compensate the expenses of individuals. There is no mention in the text of the bill that the cell phone apps will be used to track coronavirus or exposure to it. Another part of the bill reads, nothing in this section shall be construed to supersede any federal privacy of confidentiality requirements. So really they are trying to counteract what is being stated, and they're basically saying that it's not true, but you know, when it comes to the government, they can't be trusted. Rush has also emphasized on Twitter that privacy will not be violated. We heard that before from Obama, remember? That the cell phones would not be tapped, people would not be spying on you. And then there was the guy that came out, I think the CIA whistleblower that fled to Russia, I believe, and he said that all of the emails are being read, all of your text messages are being read. They are storing all of your information in a mega terabyte field of information. So we can't trust what they're telling us because we've been lied to since the beginning of colonization, since those Europeans came over on this territory, you all. All right, so again, Rush has stated on Twitter that privacy will not be violated, including regulations under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of '96, known as HIPAA. And the Public Health Service Act. I would not be surprised if they do not go through your medical records to see if you had a cough or a sniffle that was reported to your doctor's office and implement that as a way and guidelines and standards on a procedure to come and test you with this TRACE Act and force you to take this test. It says Apple and Google partner for COVID-19 tracing apps. It says Google and Apple announced on April 1st a joint effort to develop technical tools and use Bluetooth technology to help the government and health agencies reduce the spread of COVID-19, you all, with privacy and security measures still in place. How are they doing that? Because obviously your privacy is being violated if you're not aware and made privy to what they're putting on your phone, what they're tracking, and then behind your back, you can have a knock on your door saying that you could have been susceptible to COVID because you're around someone at a grocery store or any area that you may have been, any common area, you know, any public area. So this is crazy. They think that we have no common sense at all whatsoever. It says Apple and Google will be launching a comprehensive solution that includes application programming interfaces called APIs and operating system level technology to assist in enabling contact tracing. A news release from Apple reads, given the urgent need, the plan is to implement the solution in 2 steps while maintaining strong protections around user privacy. How is that? How do you have user privacy? We have no privacy. Their plan states that both Google and Apple will use APIs that will cooperate with Android and iOS devices and will use apps from public health authorities. See, I told you. Who are the public health authorities? If you call the ambulance, that's a public health authority. If you go to the doctor, The apps are not required and will be available for download via app stores. A Bluetooth-based contact and tracing platform to which individuals would opt in would allow more users to participate. Why would we opt into this? Anybody with common sense, answer this question. Why would we opt into something like that? Do they not have enough of our information? I mean, this is crazy. Oh, gosh. And you know what? I'm going to continue on with this next topic because it is just despicable what's going on in this country. So as I had earlier discussed, Bill Gates is back at it with his antics. He's been caught trying to bribe government officials in Africa, you all. Why is Africa so prevalent? Because Bill Gates has been out there for years right now. And you know, they have said that AIDS comes from Africa. They did all of this testing on the people out in Africa, little kids. And they claim there's no AIDS vaccination. But why is Bill Gates so heavily invested in Africa, I would wonder. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? You know, it's just crazy. He's like the mad scientist gone awry. Somebody needs to stop this criminal, because really what he has done is basically he has warranted criminal acts across the world, the entire nation. That's why. Why do you think he has bunkers underground? Because he's in hiding. You know, he already had this stuff planned, and it's just disgusting. And you know, if you look back at his earlier history, and even in his press conferences, he looks like the average nerd. And I don't even use that word, but just look at him. He just, he's the annoying type of person that you don't even want to be in contact with. All right, I'm going to play for you this YouTube video, Bill Gates, and I'm going to post it in the description below, and I'll also provide the link to this article so you can read this for yourself regarding the phone tracing and the HR 6666. All right, so let me see if I can get this to play. All right, let's skip this commercial. You know, everybody wants to be in a commercial. All right, now it could be a little difficult to understand this person. He's from Nigeria, so he talks with a heavy accent, a heavy, strong accent. But if we all open our ears and just pay attention, we can figure out what he's saying. So I'm just gonna get to the part.
Personal explanation, and I think it's very important at this hour. Thank you very much first for the very clear, and then listen to the voice of Nigerians.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there. He said, listen to the voice of Nigerians.
Again, on the same subject matter, there's an issue going on around the country that we are giving $10 million leadership for the National Assembly.
There's an issue going around that we were given $10 million.
And it has gone viral.
And it has gone viral.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say that as far as I'm concerned, dying.
He wants to say that's quite some concern.
Has not reached to me. Nobody has negotiated anything to me. I acted.
Nobody has listened to him. He's acted. And I think next he's going to say on behalf of the Nigerian people. But I'll let him say that for himself.
In the interest of Nigeria and in the collective interest of our nation, and for anybody to make the kind of insinuation.
Okay, so he acted for in the best interest of the Nigerians and the country, and then he goes on talking about a solution.
Speaker, he has breached my privilege, and I think it should not go like that. I want to plead again that the House should set up a committee to investigate this very spurious allegation, and if possible, take legal measures. This is to stem people who will think they will just go to the corridor of the press and make a spurious statement against Nigerians. We have our integrity, we have our faces, I can raise my head high up anywhere.
He said we have our integrity, and I will be honest, it's a little difficult for me to understand him because he has a very strong, heavy accent, but at least he's speaking out against this.
Anytime, anywhere. And I want to say, dying. And I have never gone to a negotiation with anybody on this particular. Thank you for this, my own point of observation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I personally think, and once again, I thank, and many members have also.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. If you would like to listen to the rest of this is about 10 minutes and 31 seconds long. I will post again that link in the description box. Shout out to Young Pharaoh because he actually brought this to my attention. I was not aware, but nor does it surprise me that Bill Gates is over in Africa trying to bribe government officials. He's basically already bribed the WHO, the World Health Organization, the CDC, Center for Disease Control, and it seems like most of the government, FBI, CIA, because if that were not the case, he would be locked up right now. And I think it's just an atrocity. Once again, it is very sad that we are dealing with these troubling times. Everybody, like I said, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your, spouse. They're coming in your house trying to inject you with this COVID. And, I don't think anybody's going to go down without a fight. So they better get ready and they better be prepared if they come, because there are many Americans that's not going for this. And already, if you go down to the south, oh, it was a big bird that just went overhead. But if you go down to the south, you go down to Texas, okay, they've already said come and take it. So you know what's up. You already know what that means. They are not playing, okay? I'm going to say it again, everybody. Get your stuff in order. Bulletproof vests. You got to get ready. Like, we're about to get into a battle, you all. And it's really a shame that it's come to this point. So I'm going to stop it right there. And then I am going to address one other thing. I want to, of course, always leave you with a positive message. Walk in your divinity, queens and kings. And when I say walk in your divinity, what I mean is allow no one to treat you as a peasant, okay? And what I'm going to say, and this is a quote by me that I wrote: foolish is the one who throws crumbs at a queen and expects her to eat them, okay? I'm going to read that again. Foolish is the one who throws crumbs at a queen, expecting her to eat them. And I'm just letting you all know, ladies, you don't have to accept, okay, half attempts at someone treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. I'm going to stress that point, okay, because I think that's what's going on with a lot of people. And when you hear the stories that I've heard and the complaints that I've heard, I cannot even fathom how a male can treat a female that way, and especially ones that have bore children for them, or they are in the process of having their seed growing inside of them, or they want them to bear children for them. The stories that I've heard are very troubling. You all, I'm not going to say me, you all, okay, need to do better out there. You cannot consider yourself a king and you can't even take care of your queen, okay? So, when I say king and queen, you can use that term if it applies. If you know that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you need to make some adjustments. We don't have time to play around out here. This is the time where we need to unify. This is a time that the queens are very vulnerable. The children are very vulnerable because they're implementing bills and they're trying to get them passed so they can come and knock on your door. We don't have time for people fussing and fighting, domestic violence between the two. When you have someone in the army coming to your door, basically about to take you away and take you to a health facility so that they can pump and inject COVID vaccination. And I will also leave the link to Young Pharaoh's live stream as well, because straight out of the person's mouth, I forgot his name. His name is Alan Dershowitz, if you're familiar with him. He basically said they have the right to come to your house and what did he say? His exact terminology was shoot or pump vaccination in your vein. I'm not making this up, you all. So I just want you to take this extremely seriously, okay, and be very cautious as to what's going on here. I also just want to say it's important to know your ancestral lineage. There's a difference between Native American versus African American, okay? So when they want to label us because we all have melanated skin, we're all not the same. So that's not to say that I don't want to be a black person, okay? Because first of all, our skin is not black, okay? We are bronze beauties. We are caramel cuties. We're golden glowers. We're copper tone. We're so many things. We're golden. And we're actually made of all the elements that are in the universe, including stardust, okay? So we are very valuable beings, to say the least, especially if you're melanated, because like I said, it's on the market and it's selling. So the reason why they want to call us African American is because basically that stipulates that we have no legal claim to this land. We have no natural bearing to this territory, and that is completely inaccurate and false, you all. African American, they say African, which comes first. So that means go back to Africa, right? And then you can be American. So that means you have no natural state to claim this land. But guess what? This is our land, which was stolen. So native, okay? That means you're indigenous to the land. So I prefer to call myself an indigenous native to this land. I don't subscribe to the term African American, and then I don't really subscribe to black either, but I know what they mean when they say that. So this is why, my slogan is brown girls are beautiful, because that is very all-inclusive. Okay, there's so many of us and we have so many different genetic makeups, okay? We're also dealing with the Asiatics. We're dealing with the ones that have African lineage. We all have that. And then we're dealing with the ones that are native to the land. My Cherokees, the Hopis, the Mattaponi, the Powhatans, the Indian foot, the Blackfoot. I mean, the list goes on. There's over 500 different Indian tribes all over the place. The Navajo, so just think about that. And I just want to let you know that true Indians, okay, are not the light complected ones that you see. They are more the color that you see right in front of you on this camera, okay? Those are the true natural indigenous Indians. We already know what happened when this land was infiltrated and people wanted to reap the benefits, okay, of being Native American. I'm just going to close it out like that, you all. I hope you have learned something for today, or I hope I have at least opened your eyes and invoked something for you to further research. I would like to close it out with a German phrase, so I'm trying to think of something that I can say that I haven't said on my prior videos. Again, you can see das Wetter ist sehr schön. The weather's very beautiful today. Let me think of something here. I want to say something a little bit different. I'm going to say, I hope you all understand what I just said. And so if you want to say you understand and you want to answer that question, you would say, Ich verstehe. Okay? Ich verstehe. I understand. So you understand what I said. Okay? And if you wanted to ask someone, do they speak English? Like, say you were or happened to encounter a German, or you were in Germany and you want to ask the person, do you speak English? Because you can't communicate in their language. All you would have to say is, Sprichst du English? Okay, do you speak English? Okay, and when that translates, it really translates to speak you English, but you would say sprichst du English or sprechen Sie Deutsch. That's the more formal way of saying it. So you're asking them, speak you German? Okay, so I just wanted to leave you with that little tip there. And I'm going to close off with celebrate yourself. That is my hashtag, you all. Celebrate yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. If anything, they're going to try to kick you down. And so we have to combat and counteract these acts that they're pushing out here. Everybody, I'm about to go inside. It's a little hot, okay? Mir ist heiß, okay? I'm getting hot. So, everybody, once again, shout out to the melanated queens, melanated beauties. Please stay blessed, stay uplifted, stay abundant, stay fruitful. All my melanated kings, be the warriors that you are meant to be the providers and the protectors that God created you to be. And, take care of these princesses, and make sure you keep the education and the knowledge empowering the youngsters. I know that they ended their school year early, but they still need to be given knowledge, okay? Knowledge is power. Information is power. So thank you so much for your time, your energy. Everybody, stay blessed.